So this Russell Westbrook trade will end disastrously for the Lakers. They severely overpaid for Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook is in decline and is barely a positive contributor to a championship team. What he will do is he will accumulate a lot of stats, but he's going to hurt his team just as much as he helps his team. Not being able to shoot, and more importantly than that, turnovers are devastating to a team's prospects. And Russell Westbrook has legendary challenges in both of those areas. Russell Westbrook, first of all, if you want to trade multiple assets for a player, that player needs to be a Hall of Famer in his prime, because it's only when the player is a Hall of Famer in his prime that that player is able to make up for the loss in assets. Russell Westbrook is not in his prime. He did not make the All-Star team last year. And that doesn't really capture the decline in his game. Among guards that played at least 30 minutes a game, there are 59 of them. There are 59 guards this year that played at least 30 minutes a game. Why do I say 30 minutes a game? These are your starters. These are the players that basically started a game. Okay? Started a game, and if you play 30 minutes a game, you're probably starting the game and you're ending the game. And you're probably a significant contributor throughout the game. Okay, so you're not just a role player that comes in and spots. You know, these are your starting NBA players. Okay, so there are 59 of them. 59 guards. Russell Westbrook has a net rating that is ranked 39th of 59 players. 39th. He has a lower net rating than several players that are on teams that had worse record than the Wizards did, including Kyle Lowry, lower net rating than Lonzo Ball, Jaylen Brown, Dennis Schroeder, who they're replacing him with Russell Westbrook. Dennis Schroeder had a higher net rating. DeJounte Murray, Devontae Graham of Charlotte does. Karis LeVert at Indiana does. Kyle Lowry does. Actually, Malcolm Brogdon and Justin Holiday. Zach LaVine does. Should have better. None of those point guards should have better net ratings than Russell Westbrook. So I just named several players who are statistically better than Russell Westbrook. And yet the Lakers felt the need to trade three of their core major role-playing contributors for an aging Russell Westbrook. Now, I have a statistic called net rating differential. And I'm going to use a player to sort of explain how I go about doing this. So let's take a player. Let's take Devontae Graham of the Charlotte Hornets. Alrighty, net rating is the difference between offensive and defensive ratings. Okay, so there's a team rating and an individual rating. Naturally, your better teams are going to have better net ratings. So all of your best teams had the highest net ratings this year. So when you look at the net rating, you have to find a way to account for the fact that some players play on better teams and some players play on teams that are less talented. So hence the net rating differential. So in other words, so you look at the net rating for the team, then you look at the net rating for the individual player, and you essentially take the difference. So the Charlotte Hornets net rating this year was negative 1.9. So about an average team has about a, 1 or maybe a negative 1 net rating. The Charlotte Hornets were a little bit worse than average, negative 1.9. But Devontae Graham's net rating was 2.1. And this was not done on, basically reserve minutes or against reserve competition. Devontae Graham played 30 minutes a game this year. So this was a starting caliber NBA player who generally started and finished the game. And he had a 2.1 net rating, which was 4 points higher than his team's. In other words, Devontae Graham helped his team significantly. Okay, part of the reason that the Charlotte Hornets were better than anticipated. One was obviously LaMelo Ball, but a better reason was Devontae Graham's play this year. Now, by the way, Devontae Graham changed teams this year. The Pelicans were able to acquire him for a first-round draft pick. Okay? So, Devontae Graham plus 4 net rating differential. Russell Westbrook's net rating differential this year was, Devontae Graham's net rating differential was plus 4. Russell Westbrook's net rating differential was 0.4. Let me say that again. Devontae Graham's net rating differential was plus 4. Russell Westbrook's net rating differential was plus 0.4. Russell Westbrook's net rating differential has declined significantly the last 4 years. It has gone from plus 0.37 in 2017 to plus 2.9 in 2018 to plus 1.6 in 2019 to plus 0.6 in 2020, and in 2021 plus 4, negative 4, plus 0.4. Okay? Plus 0.4. So 3.7 down to plus 0.4. Okay? There's a reason that Russell Westbrook, playing alongside a Hall of Famer in his prime, could only get to the 8th seed. There's a reason. He's playing with Bradley Beal. Okay? And that team was only able to get to, the play-in tournament? What did Atlanta have other than Trae Young? What did they have? Do the Knicks even have? I mean, do we know at this point? Are we really sure that Julius Randle, was he really better than Bradley Beal? So there are 27 guards this year. This year, 27 guards that played at least 2,000 minutes and played 50 games. Okay, 27 of them. Russell Westbrook has the highest turnover percentage of any of those players. Russell Westbrook's turnover percentage is 18%. Okay? By comparison, a good point guard, like let's say Stephen Curry, only 12.2%. His true shooting percentage, pretty important statistic. True shooting percentage is the lowest of those 27 players. Again, Russell Westbrook's true shooting percentage is only 50%, 51%. And it is because he's a bad free throw shooter and a bad three-point shooter. I I'm starting to think that the Wizards should have had to include a draft pick to get off of Russell Westbrook. The Wizards, they should have had to include a draft pick to get off of. They got the Lakers to take this man's contract. I just can't. I just can't. I mean, I just really wonder, like, did Rob Pelinka, did he look at his stats? I just, StatHead is available to everybody. It's only $8. I mean, really, dude, like, I'm not so sure I would have traded KCP for Russell Westbrook straight up. I'm really not so sure. I guess the rebounds and assists, and I guess they are worth something, but oh my God. So you have to look at the possessions. All of when he has a true shooting percentage of 51%, okay, and he's turning the ball over virtually 1 out of every 5 times that he controls the ball. The effect that has on your offense, those are possessions over the course of a game that could be worth 3 points that are only worth 2 points or 1.5 points. And I don't understand why the Lakers didn't get this. Now, the other problem with this trade is what the Lakers gave up. The Lakers gave up essentially their second, third, and fourth best defenders. That was a lot of wing defense for the Lakers to give up. In fact, the strength of the Lakers team this year was wing defense. They finished third in 3-point shooting percentage defense, and I believe fourth in three-pointers allowed per game. Dennis Schroeder, KCP, and Caruso, all 3 of those players are going to leave. So, and when you add that to the fact that Russell Westbrook really isn't much better a player than KCP by himself, the Lakers are much worse off this year. Now, if we look at the 3 players individually, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope's net rating was 3.3, substantially higher than that of Russell Westbrook's, whose net rating was negative 1.2. The Lakers were a better team, but I mean, not a hell of a lot better team. Like, the Lakers went out in the first round, and the Wizards went out in, I believe, the play-in tournament, or I think the first round. So, I don't know. I don't know. You also give up Kyle Kuzma and Montrezl Harrell. Uh, my money says that Kyle Kuzma is going to be averaging 20 points a game this year. And then if the Wizards give Harrell an opportunity, he may well be back to his six man of the year type performance that he delivered for the Clippers. So you're gonna have two players basically embarrassing the Lakers as a franchise, thriving. The rule when it comes to playing with LeBron is that you're probably going to be underutilized. And what has happened here is that the Lakers have traded underutilized player for an overvalued player. And the truth about that player is going to be revealed during the season when the Lakers barely get into the playoffs and are eliminated in the first round.